So hi again, everyone. This is Tracy Chamberlain Higginbotham of Women Ties here for our December member-only meeting. And I am so happy to have all of you with me. Many of you are repeat meeting attendees, which I have to tell you, it really does matter to me when I see women sign up for this, because you know, as a woman entrepreneur, you're always hoping that you're doing programs and offering services and events that really make a difference for your customers. And so at least having as many women as we have join us out of, even though our larger group, still makes me feel like this is beneficial for you, which obviously I hope that it is. Today, because it's December and I'm all about holiday sales, I'm going to give you a chance. You each have like about 4 to 5 minutes to speak about, you can share information about yourself, but if there's something specific that you're selling this holiday season or want people to be aware of, if you're an author, or if you have something else, or if you have some programs coming up in New Year's, feel free to promote that. We have like Melissa on the line, and she's in the financial industry, so maybe she has some tips to share as we get to year's end. So just keep that in mind, and I am just going to call you by the way that you popped on here. And again, you have about that much time, and then I have some gifts that I'm giving away. And I'd also like to, when we're all done, have just a little bit of a conversation. So think of it now, of what was the best thing that happened to you in your business this year. As my son calls me, my December 10th baby is calling me. Sorry about that. He's having Amazon stuff shipped to the house for his brother. So I think I'm supposed to be aware that the Amazon truck is coming at any point in time. That's what happens when you have New York City kids. They ship everything here. Okay, let me push record, unless it's already recording. It is. Okay, so we will start with Christy and Melissa came in both around the same time. So Christy, why don't we start with you, because you're in the top of my little Brady Bunch here, and go ahead. You got 4 to 5 minutes.
Awesome. I'm not going to talk about marketing for once. I'm going to talk about Norwex, because it's a business that I have and I forget to promote it. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Norwex. They're all about products to help you clean your home without the use of chemicals. And so I kind of started my own healthy living journey when my son was a baby and he had allergies. And I was just kind of opened up to this whole world of like essential oils and better ways of doing things than how my parents did them. It was the best that they knew how, but I became very aware of all the chemicals in our house, both from the standpoint of cleaning products, the soaps and the shampoos I was using on him, all of these ingredients that are really not good. And so I started down my own journey, and now I'm super into essential oils. I sell Norwex products, but I forget about it because it's honestly I just do it because I believe so strongly in the products, because they've allowed me to, I mean, we really don't have any chemicals in our house. So the cloths that they have, and the Enviro cloth is kind of their like signature leading product. You can use it for anything. And the cool thing about it is that it has, there's a few different things that make it different than a traditional like microfiber cloth. One is how dense it's woven. So if you have one or you've used one, you know that it like can pick up a ridiculous amount of liquid. It actually takes a lot to like saturate it under the water to get it wet. And all you need is that cloth and water. And the way that you use it, you wipe it, it takes anything off the surface that's there that you can see or not see. I've done demonstrations so you can actually see the products work. It's really cool. There's this glow germ demo. There's a demo with raw chicken meat where I can show you that just using the cloth wipes it away. So what you do is you use the cloth with water, wipe down your surfaces, rinse it out underwater, and then you hang it up to dry. And one of the really cool things about it is what's called backlock technology. So it's silver. Silver is antimicrobial. And so as it dries, it's killing anything that's there. So you let it dry and then you use it again. And so you can get a lot of use out of it until you have to wash it. Eventually you do have to wash it, but it's changed our lives. I love all of their products. I use them every day. I use them wiping down my counters, my bathrooms, the floor. They have a special on the mop system right now, which it sounds expensive. It's $99, but when you think of the fact that it's It's basically a broom and a mop all in one. You're not buying any refillable things to you. You're using the same thing over and over again. It's one of my favorite products. My son actually loves using it on the floor. He'll help me clean the floors because he thinks it's fun. So I can put the link in the chat to my Norwex website. And if you have any questions about the products, I'd be happy to answer them.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic. Thank you very much. Anything else? You still have a few minutes. Nothing else? We're going to stay with that. That's totally fine. So
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me just put my cancel on this. Okay, Melissa, why don't you unmute yourself, and you've got 5 minutes too.
Great. I can vouch for Norwex. I was really happy to hear you talk about it, Christy, because it is the products are so good. And I have sent a few people Christy's way. Hopefully, I don't know if anybody's actually bought, but I really wanted the mop for like a long time. The regular price is $130, so I like held out, and I finally got it at a little bit of a discount. But I love that you talked about Norwex because I also sell Beauty Counter, which is a side gig of mine too, and that's one way that Christy and I have connected. My day job, my everyday job, I'm a financial advisor with Finger Lakes Wealth Management in Ithaca, New York. We're an independent firm, independent financial advisory firm, and family owned and operated. I guess we're like 66, we're actually 95% women owned. But I've been with the company since February of 2020, which was a very odd time to get started, to change careers. My previous career was as a nurse, and I had kind of done part-time finance and nursing, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do half-time things. So, so in the last, it's been about a year and a half since I passed my exam and have started working with clients and learning, getting my feet on the ground, really. I've just really loved working with people, especially working with women entrepreneurs. We do specialize in socially responsible investing, which is something that is a bit of a niche market, but we work with all different kinds of people, all different kinds of backgrounds. Personally, we have 3 advisors in the office and 1 client services manager. And personally, I do have a passion for working with women. And to the other kind of thing that I like to focus on is changing money mindset. I'm interested in helping women feel empowered around finances and abundance in general, and really like discover what prevents us from really owning that we deserve wealth, that we deserve abundance. And so as I continue and as I, continue to work with clients, that is something that I'm interested in really like focusing on. I haven't really done much education or anything like that, but in the next year, it is a goal of mine to start doing more kind of talks. Like maybe here I could set up some sort of a workshop, like investing basics or something like that. So we can be on the lookout for that as I figure that out for myself. And I have started doing advertising for our firm. So if everyone is willing, I would love to put you all on our email list. And you can get in your inbox, you'll get information, sort of like financial literacy quizzes that you can kind of take. You can easily navigate to our website. You can for sure refer anyone you know to us, call me or book an appointment with me online very easily. Trying to think if there's anything else specific to the business that I want to share. I don't think so. We do work with all different people in many different states. I think we have clients in 26 states. So location isn't an issue. We do Zoom calls. It's very easy to set up appointments without being in person because I know we're not all local to each other. So yeah, thanks. So if everyone's okay with that, unless I hear from you that you don't want to be on the list, you can always unsubscribe. But I'll add you to our email list.
Sounds great.
Thanks so much.
I'd love to have a conversation about the abundance mindset, because I think that really plays not only in our, our financial investing part, but just abundance and sense of how much, this is the giving season, and how much, do people have like a corporate giving policy? I learned because I started in I started as in investment banking firm, actually, in Philadelphia. Then I went to development in 2 institutions. So I understand kind of the fundraising arm of things, and, the philanthropic giving back policy as well. So I think you do give back, you create abundance within your life. So it might be something that would be a great January topic that, covers the money end and has us thinking about it as we go forth in the year.
Yeah, that reminds me, we actually are a B Corp, what's considered a benefit corporation. We go through like a pretty strict certification process, and we have to recertify every 3 years. And one of the sort of like requirements or place where we get points is how much we donate per year. And the ideal is 1% of profits. So, and we adhere to that as a company. So we really try to invest in local businesses, local women businesses, women-owned, nonprofits. So, yeah, that's a great, thanks for reminding me. It's a good point.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Melissa. We appreciate it. I think Marion, you were next on here. So why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and get your 5 minutes of PR.
Okay, unmute.
There you go.
Well, I just want to say I'll second or third or whatever it is, the Norwex products. I've been using them actually for about 7 years. When I was first diagnosed with colon cancer, I started thinking about all the stuff that we have in our homes that could be contributing to these crazy cells. And so I started buying Norwex, and I'm sure that I have every single possible cloth when really I only use 2, the EnviroCloth and the window one. And cleaning anything is so easy with just water, and it's made a difference, I think, in the health that we have. Plus, my husband is very sensitive to any chemicals, so I was always looking for unscented products, but still with chemicals in them. So just another plug, buy Norwex. It's really good and cleans amazingly. So, okay. So I'm Marion Andrews, and I think I've met all of you before, except maybe Melissa. And I am an author, a teacher, and a healer. I work with energy healing, and I work with gratitude. The name of the book that I wrote about my cancer journey is called Gloriously Grateful. And so gratitude is a huge part of what I try to promote and teach, how to be in the mode of gratitude every single day, because then you've got abundance as well, because gratitude is, it's called, some people say it's the abracadabra for miracles. Once you are in that frequency, the high frequency of a gratitude attitude, things just happen. They just really start to happen for you. Amazingly to me, this whole path for 7 years of 3.5 years of treatment, and then now it's 4 years of being cancer-free, has been a whole different lifestyle. First, I got rid of so many things and attitudes and problems. I discovered Reiki healing, and that in itself has made my life 100% better. And so I really am interested in talking more about gratitude and that attitude of abundance, because miracles do happen all the time. And sometimes we miss them because we're not paying attention, or we're not looking for them, or not even realizing them. This past week, when I was kind of trying to decide, okay, do I start to cut back, and maybe it's time to just be a housewife and take care of all those little piles of stuff that, need to be sorted through. And then I got a call, and I was asked to do a meditation class for a seniors group once a month. And I got another call to be on a podcast, and one to be on a radio show. And I'm thinking, okay, you got my attention. I guess I'm not ready to retire and give up trying to encourage people to work with the angels and with gratitude. So it's fun. It's so fun that when you're not looking for something and trying to decide, I guess I always think that they really had to go all out and give me stage 4 colon cancer to get my attention before. And I'm trying not to ever have that happen again. So I do pay attention when I get a call and make an appointment for the interviews or whatever. Sometimes I go, oh, I don't have anything. I don't feel like talking. But once you get into it, it's like anything. You start to like it and it goes well. So I've got some interesting things coming up. I'm going to be doing more talking about these things, doing more speaking engagements and that kind of thing. Discover Your Angels has become my signature class that is so well received and so much fun to do. It's a 10-week online class about 10 different angels, how to talk with them, how to get to know them and their personalities. And then we do a meditation with them to even get to know them better. And then at the end of the class, we also journal and have homework to work with them. And it is so exciting to me that I keep getting little texts and emails that say, I wasn't sure about that angel, but I needed some help with such and such a thing. And so I thought, which one did Marion say works? I can't remember which one, so I'll just say whoever, because I teach that. You can just say whoever. And she said, and this happened, So that's very exciting to me because I'm just a conduit. I don't get to do that other stuff without a whole lot of heavenly help. So I feel so blessed that the angels and divine have chosen to let me affect other people in a positive way. So I've got those classes coming up again, January 15th, they'll start 10 weeks. I'm working on a whole workshop about gratitude, like about a 5-hour, one day, working with different aspects of gratitude and all different interesting things. So I'm doing a lot of research on that. I'll let you know when that one comes up, but I don't know if I've used up all my time. I probably have.
You have, but it was a wonderful use of time. And so that sounds terrific. And if you send me the information, I'll put up your January 15th. I don't know if all the links and everything are the same, but I'm happy to put that up and promote it for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great holiday, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, Jackie, you are next on the list here. So you have to unmute yourself. There you go. Girl.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again, Tracy, for creating this venue for us all to get to know each other and share. I'm actually really excited what everybody's shared so far, and I hope I kind of am able to tell you why. So I wanted to ask Melissa first if you happen to know who Lynn Twist is. Are you familiar? So Lynn Twist wrote a book called The Soul of Money, and it is about sufficiency. And Lynn actually was a mentor of mine years ago in Houston when I was the chair of the very early stages of the Hunger Project, which is really about sufficiency. So I wanted to mention that, and also to link that, I think you all know, I'm an author. I've recently, in the last couple of years, written Hooray for Parenting. So I'm trying to think about how to weave all this together. So my lifelong career has been as a psychotherapist, a coach. I've done women leadership things. And I wrote this book out of integrating a whole array of experiences in my life. So one of them has had to do with sufficiency. And while this book is targeted for parents, it's really could be for anyone. I wrote it for parents because I was committed to, and I thought the most powerful way was one, to help parents think of themselves as leaders and creating the future through their kids. And one of the key elements of the book is generated from the idea of coming from sufficiency and focusing less on consumer products and more on relationships and experiences with your kids. I was inspired by a book that was written years ago called More Fun, Less Stuff. And it's about sufficiency. So that was one thing. And then another thing was what Christy said about the environmentally friendly products. So another part that I've integrated into the book has to do with the connection with nature and the love of nature, and really in the background, the real commitment to the environment. And originally, how I got on this journey, I think I've said this before to all of you, that one of the things that's been challenging for me is that I'm still consulting, and I still have coaching clients, basically. And I developed this little side business that challenges me social media wise and communicating about it. But I started this out of working with my son, who is an environmental educator and has worked in that field extensively in Japan and now recently here in the Syracuse area. But I think it's critical for young children to learn a love of nature so that they will be concerned about protecting the environment. So that all was the beginning of what is now called my website, Gratitude Leads. So in terms of what Marion's sharing about gratitude, that's another key component of my book, which is about a family creating a context of gratitude and beginning to put in practices. But I might just add, Marion, that in my consulting right now, which is with United Cerebral Palsy and with the management level in Utica, I'm in the process of making some recommendations. And the key recommendation is building gratitude into the business environment. So, and I've just ordered a book that's coming tomorrow on gratitude and leadership in the business environment. So anyway, I'm all of these things linked together. So to understand that I wrote the book for parents, not because that is the only part of my life and career, but because I'm interested in influencing everybody to see parenting as really, really important in creating the future generation and the future for our country and the world. And then the other thing I've done recently that I just want to share with you, because this is my little expansion. My daughter-in-law actually is from Korea and is an expert in origami. And so we're creating and adding as a gift for on our Gratitude Leads website these peace cranes. And I just sent Tracy some. I don't know if you've gotten them yet, Tracy. Oh, they're there. And
Over here.
yes, I was going to show. So the peace crane, in case you don't know, really has become a worldwide symbol of peace. And it seems appropriate in the Christmas season that we focus on peace worldwide. And it's a story. I mean, it's a reality. And in fact, I've been in Hiroshima and seen the monument to Hiroshima, which is covered with these paper cranes that were part of the journey of a 12-year-old girl who was 2, I think, when the bomb was dropped. And when she was 12, she got leukemia and was dying. But part of what she did when she was in the hospital was make peace cranes, both to spread the message of peace and also of hope for her own healing. She did die, but anyway, that has become a classic story for people who are familiar with it all over the world. So that's my recent thing. So thanks, and I'm excited. I just love these little gatherings because we get to know each other, and so
Yeah, and I look at to the age group of, some of us younger to middle age, some of us in their
elderly. You
wonderful.
can count me as
I wasn't going
elderly.
to say elderly. I'm kind of the one in the smack in the middle, but the whole thing is that there's great wisdom to be gained from everybody at all different stages of their life. And funny, and then I'll just go on to it. But when my sons were here over the holiday weekend, I still try to baby them. I just adore them. And they're like, Mom, we do not need to be mothered anymore. And so I got a little snippy. I'm like, well, then I won't be your mother anymore. And then forget it. And, my youngest son got so upset. He's like, that's not what I'm saying. So I need a lesson in letting go of wanting to be a mother to kids that are really don't want me to be goo goo gaga over them anymore. So I don't know, maybe somebody can write a book about that and help me out.
When you were talking about elder, I always say I'm older, but I'm sure not old.
That's right.
All right. Well, we will let Jody get her 5 minutes in here. So why don't you go ahead, my dear?
All right. Except first I want to start. Jackie, how's Caleb doing? I was thinking of him just the other day. Sorry. Gotta know.
Whole nother story. Maybe we should. So I don't know if you all know who Caleb is, but my grandson, who started playing the piano with Jody many years ago, and
he's a prodigy. He's a prodigy.
Yeah. What's happening right now is he's taking a break from piano and experimenting with tennis and soccer and working at an assisted living place, serving meals to old people.
Wow.
But he's doing good. I think he's trying to expand he was practicing 6 or 7 hours a day, which for a 16-year-old is not exactly.
Okay, well, I'm glad I asked. Thank you. I just wondered because I hadn't heard of anything recently. His mother is, I'm on the email list, and I just was wondering if he was doing anything musically. So, okay, thank you. All right.
Good. I can keep you posted on that.
All right, thanks, Jackie. I appreciate that. Well, I'm
thanks.
glad to know that he's doing some other things to broaden his horizons. That's a good thing.
Yeah, thanks.
So, I'm Jody Brown. My business is Holy Education. And I am just emotionally drained at the moment. I do not want to promote anything. Although I will say, Christy, you inspired me. I have a Discovery Toys business that, like you, Christy, it's just something that I do. I love the toys. I'd put the website in the chat, but I don't even know what my website is. I have to go actually to the website and copy and paste it. I haven't memorized it yet. And this is the time of year if anybody wants some quality educational toys, books, games for their kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, friends, kids, whatever. It's a good time for that. I have. Oh, thank you. My I opened, I know you're going to ask for this later, but I'm going to give it to you now. I opened a studio here in Seneca Falls in July, and that has really, that's the best thing I can say about my business for this year. But it's also been time consuming and energy draining, and I'm a piano teacher. That's my day job. And during the pandemic, I lost all my students. So I'm having to, here I am at 69 years old, having to start from scratch again. And I'm doing it. It's going very well. Right now, I just added a new student yesterday. I'm up to 10 students. I've got 3 more students that want to start in January after the holidays. And it's been quite I think, my unemployment ended in September. So during the pandemic, I was financially stable due to the unemployment, but I didn't quite, it was kind of hard to plan to build up the piano and have it line up with when the unemployment ended. So the past 4 months, September, October, November, December, this month too, have been a little financially challenging. I'm on a negative cash flow, which is very draining. And that's why I'm too tired to promote anything. I'm taking the month of December off to just recharge, and I know that by January, let's see, 10, 13, I only need 15 students to pay both my business expenses and my life expenses. So I'm 13 in January. I only need 2 more, so I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I know this probably isn't.
Remind us again, are you still taking virtual, or no, you're only accepting students in your
I
office?
actually do have 2 adult students who are on Zoom.
Okay.
I prefer to do in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to teach piano over Zoom. So that's not my favorite. And the 2 that are adults and doing it, it's a little different with adults. With kids, especially now that I'm back in person, and there's one student I started in July on Zoom. We didn't start in person until September. And so those 2 months of beginning lessons and then getting to her in September is like, oh man, we should have been doing this from the beginning. So it's probably not what you all wanted to hear, and I'm sorry if that's, but that's where I am right now. And
I think I can speak for at least being a 27-year woman entrepreneur, that there are, just like everyday life, there's just ebb and flow. It's kind of like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's based on, you feel high because your revenue is really great, or you're high because you have a new product that you're marketing. And then you can be low if those expectations aren't met, or because something happens to you physically that alters you. And I've just learned over the years that you've got to sort of go with the ebb and flow of how you feel. I mean, we have the advantage as women entrepreneurs, because we are our own bosses, to be able to be gentle on ourselves. My husband, who was really tired from the Thanksgiving weekend, had to go back to work Monday morning at a corporate job, no matter what. I think I slept in a little bit because I did a lot of cooking, but you know what I mean? We have the flexibility for ourselves. So it is okay to feel the way that we feel at different parts, especially when you have a decade, a 2-decade, a 3-decade business. And as we age within our business, and as we age as women as well, it's okay. Or things that are important. I didn't do as much business sales when my sons were younger, because I didn't have the opportunity to have a lot of free time to be on the phones. But once my kids had to go to college, guess what? Sales became a huge priority to me, because I had to then pay for college tuitions. And so, it's okay to have those kind of days, and to just be gentle. So I appreciate that you brought it up, because all of us probably within this month will have some of those feelings. So,
and I appreciate the support network. So thank you all for listening.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Jody let's look at my timing here. I think we're doing good. Yep. I actually projected it would be 12:37 and we're at 12:40. So what I'd like to do is just give you each just a minute, something short, just to go around. And if there was something that you're just really proud of that you did this year. I learned at my very first entrepreneurial event, I was doing, it was my first wedding planning event for the owner of my husband's company, multi-million dollar, only daughter wedding. And the wife gave me the business, and I had years of event planning experience, but not really wedding planning. I'm a dyslexic left right. So my error in the beginning of the event was that I had the bride's family sitting on the wrong side and the men's side family, and we had to switch it around. I mean, it was like total dyslexic left right Tracy decisions. But I learned at the end of that event, when everybody was having fun, to really stop and say to myself, you know what, Tracy, you did a really good job. They're happy with you. And once in a while, you have to just acknowledge it, not let it just pass by. So I want to give you each just, and again, you know, just a quick mention of what you're most proud of in 2021, or, you know, what you did that made a difference in your business. So Christy, we'll start with you, my friend, or if anybody just wants to pop in. I don't know if I have to be so logical about how I do this, but Christy, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, every year I create like a vision board of my own. I do it in Canva. I just choose little images that kind of represent my goals for the year ahead. And I've crossed everything off my vision board except for one thing, which was my total income goal. So I'm excited about that. That feels really good. And I'm finishing the year really strong after a very slow summer. So that feels really good too.
Excellent. Excellent. And I think you do a great job of marketing and consistent marketing, which I think makes a really big difference. So kudos to you. Melissa?
Yeah, hi. Jody, I just want to say thank you for sharing all of that because it really resonated with me. Like when I think of like what the like a win in my business this year, or like what I'm feeling really confident about or something like that, it's actually hard for me to pinpoint it because I feel so new still that I feel like I should be a lot more competent somehow than I feel like I am. I have a teacher who I work with, and she has said like, well, I think you're also being hard on yourself. I think you're used to being an expert at your field and now you're not, and you're having to learn, and you can't expect to enter and be like expert level. So that said, I do feel like happy about the things that I have taken on in the business in terms of advertising. I just sat in on a webinar with Christy about like social media marketing, and Christy, I'd be interested to talk with you more just about like a vision board and how you're working with that, because I think I'm not a very good goal setter. I'm not like a list maker. I don't like structure in many ways, but I do like creative process. So I'd be interested in that. And I think I'll just like say that I feel grateful that I have any clients at all. It feels somehow like I succeeded in some way this year.
Be gentle with yourself in the sense that it takes, and I can tell you this with certainty, 3 years to really get in there and market and have people know what you do and who you are and suggest. And that happened to me with Women Ties. With 5-Star, it absolutely did. But with Women Ties, people knew me in Syracuse as somebody who produced events for women entrepreneurs. And I had to cancel my first event. It took 3 years for people to understand it. So just realize that you're on a little bit of a journey with that, and that's okay. Totally okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Marion?
Hi. Well, I think that there's kind of two things. My book came out at the December 11th last year, and it's still showing up on a high rating on colorectal cancer on Amazon. So I'm like I was ecstatic that it became a bestseller the first day, and especially in those areas. So that's something I'm still, loving. I'm still loving people are actually reading it. And when I open my bank account and see a little bit of money's come from Amazon, I go, oh yay, somebody read my book. So that thing. The other thing, one thing I struggled with doing this for a long time was doing the class about angels. And it has been so fun and so rewarding that I'm glad I did that. So Discover Your Angels, it's on my website, and it's just been great. When you were saying that, Jody, like just a month ago, not even, my daughter is battling breast cancer right now. And so that kind of took me a little bit to get used to the idea. She's in Calgary, Alberta, so I'm not available to her physically, but I am available to her as much as possible through texts. And, whenever she's got a question, she knows that I will answer her right now immediately. So then I said, I'm 73. Can I stop soon? I'm tired. But then these other things happened. So I became encouraged that, okay, I've got 3 things now booked for the beginning of the month of promotion, really getting, those things. So I was kind of excited that somebody from California found my website and thought it was interesting enough to book me for their radio show. So, hey, that was fun. Like, okay, whichever angel directed that, thank you. But
and I think the world is just opening up again, as you know. I mean, there's still,
Yeah.
With Fauci saying that there's still, until March, or maybe it was Biden, it was somebody that said, we have till March until, we get back. You just realize that we're also still kind of in that more of a limited business environment than people have been in the past too, which can still affect us.
Yes.
Revenue wise, which can affect us mentally. So,
and if you're interested as well, I've done a vision board class, and there's one up on YouTube that I did. But if you want to think about doing that, we could have some fun together and just, meet on Zoom and do a vision board if you're interested.
okay.
So that's another thing that's always fun to do at the beginning of each year. And I keep forgetting that we're almost at the new year.
Right.
So thank you for reminding me. It's time to pull out that.
You're welcome. Jackie, your turn, my friend. What are you most grateful for in 2021 with your business, yourself, or?
Well, I guess I was going to say that having talked with Tracy some and done a lot of soul searching, I've come to a place for myself to just lighten up and have fun with this business of gratitude leads and selling my book and some of the other products I have on the website. And I'll say this because of what Marion said, and maybe most of you wouldn't necessarily think so, but I'm actually 81. And so this whole feeling like, oh, what the heck am I bothering with all this, and what do I care, and why not just take it easy? But I've really come to a place of knowing really how much I'm committed to making a difference to people, and having my little book and so forth. If I can, instead of thinking about it like, oh, I have to earn money, which I never would, consistent with what I can make doing my professional work, why not just have a great time and keep putting it out there and connecting with exciting people like you guys. So anyway,
That's
that's
a great message to end with. It really is. So thank you very much, Jackie, for that. We're
thanks.
getting close to our time, and as my little notes are here. Thank you all for sharing, by the way. I think for me, just quickly, I think that my success story, which has been the truth all along, has been that I have just loved the fact that I can connect women together that wouldn't have met each other, and that it's almost like I become a matchmaker in the sense that they then continue on with their relationships long after Women Ties has connected them. And I love that this summer, actually, Christy and Melissa came for a poolside chat, and they had met through Women Ties, but hadn't physically met each other. And so sometimes when I think too of, well, how many members do I have? And, you know, are there other organizations doing things better than I do? Then I personally think of the comments from my members and my customers. And if I've made a difference for them, then for me, that's enough. So those are always the things that I'm most grateful for. So thank you to all of you for showing up. So I want to give away a few gifts. I hit, you know, come on, 30-year event planner, come on. Oh, they're in the stocking. Can you see why my sons want me to leave them alone? Because I continue to do things like that. So these are the options that you have for gifts. And we're just going to go by whoever has to claim their gift. So these are the gifts you have that you can choose. I have one of Jackie's piece cranes that I ordered that I'm giving away. The other 3 are going to other family members. So I wrote in Running for Good, which is a chicken soup for the soul. And I have my story about running the Boston Marathon. But if you have a runner in your life, or if you're a runner, this is a really great inspirational book on running. And of course, I complained that there was a man on the front, but you know, I guess men run marathons. And one of our, Jennifer Sutton, who I think Jody knows well, she was somebody that's come to a couple of our Women Ties events, not a member, but she was promoting her Curiosity Journal just recently. So of course I got on and purchased 2 of them. And if you haven't gotten the Under the Rose Colored Hat, this was my book that was published in 2019. You might have already seen it. It's the one and only Catherine Switzer on there. And the other thing that I'm willing to give away too, if none of those, you know, are happy, is if you want Marion's book, if you want Jackie's book, I will pay for those to be sent to you, because I don't want to exclude them just because I don't have one of their books here. So here we go. You can all, should I unmute? Why don't you all unmute yourselves? And we'll do
How
the
sweet,
drawing.
Tracy. Thanks for all those offers. They're all so
That
good.
is very
Yeah.
generous.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
So
generous.
the first person with the first choice from the exciting stocking is Jody Brown. What would you
Oh my
like,
gosh.
friend?
I would like Marion's book, please.
Marion's book. Okay, Marion, so you and I will chat after Marion's book. Okay. And the second gift, second present getter, whatever the word is Marion.
Oh, good. I'll have Jackie's book.
Jackie's book. Oh, this is so
Thank you,
exciting.
Faye.
I'm getting very excited. See?
I already have Jackie's book, and I already have the Curiosity Journal, and I already have Under the Rose Colored Hat.
Okay.
I have both of your books, Marion and Jackie, and I love them both. So.
Oh, good. Thank
Third
you.
person, oh, was Lori, but Lori's not here. So, oh, and Lori, who did pay for this, has phenomenal coffee that you can order online, plus coffee gifts and lots of great things. If you're not in the Rochester area, you can order online. And I love her products. So, Jackie, you're next.
I would like the Curiosity Journal.
Oh,
I have Marion's book and your book, Tracy.
all
So
right.
yeah.
You've got that. That's coming out. Oh, let's see. And then Christy.
Tracy, I want your book because I don't have it yet.
Oh, exciting. You'll have to let me know what you think. And
It's
then
like
I
Christmas
think
here.
we have Melissa.
I know it
Melissa.
does feel like early Christmas. I
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Good.
Yay.
Melissa, so you have there's still a Curiosity Journal, a rose-colored hat, the Peace Crane, the Running for Good book, or one of the other women's books.
I have Jackie's book.
Oh,
I can purchase for myself other books. Tracy, can I still buy your book?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and Mary and I can still buy your book? Okay.
Yes.
I'll take the peace creams then.
I had a feeling. I love my Ithaca.
Thank you.
I wish I could come back to Ithaca more, because I tell you, I have so many great stories of my Ithaca girls that, I miss them. So that makes perfect sense. So I will send that out to you.
I would happily host an Ithaca meeting. We have a big conference room, and
Oh,
I have space that I could host. So if that's something of interest to you, we could set that up too.
Yeah,
And I'm
maybe.
close enough, I would come to an Ithaca meeting.
Okay. Yeah,
I probably would too.
Okay. All right,
Fun.
great. Then we'll do that. Let me just write it
Fun.
down so I didn't forget Ithaca. Well, again, I love giving gifts. I'm somebody that's a giver. So thank you for partaking in the little Christmas giveaway that there is. Our next meeting, member-only meeting, is going to be January 5th, because January 2nd is, I believe, a Sunday. And so we'll go to that Wednesday, which gives people a little bit of time, and I'll give notices out. If anybody else on this call besides Marion has an event coming up for January, February, I'm happy to use the Women Ties website to be able to promote it and to put it in the Wednesday Wisdom. This still goes out to, I think it's the last time I saw, maybe it was about 2,000 women entrepreneurs across the state. So it's good PR in marketing, even if you don't get any attendees. I always hope you do. I'm going to be sending out a survey, just looking for 2022 thoughts and programs. We have a couple that we talked about here. So look for that. And again, in this this month, I guess, of buying for your holiday items, please remember to buy from women entrepreneurs first and foremost, because we still have been impacted financially by the pandemic, and also because there's still not pay equality. I know that there's a lot of people trying to push the ERA through so that women have more equal rights. But as you know, we sort of have the Roe versus Wade issue back up. So women are just, I always feel like we're just under a barrage, and I never really know when it's ever going to be that we can relax a little bit. So that is it. We have 3 minutes to go. Does anybody have anything last minute to say or comment?
I'd just like to share that I purchased Jackie's gratitude cards for my son, and we haven't been good about getting them done, but I'm excited because it might be the age thing, but like he's struggled with when we talk about being thankful for things. I think his brain doesn't quite grasp it. But the examples that you give, Jackie, in the notebook of or with the cards of oh, you could write a letter to this person for this, that really helped. And he has not had a hard time at all coming up with things with people.
Oh, that's wonderful feedback. Thank you so much.
It makes me really happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. We were just having this conversation about my sister, really quickly, her birthday was on the 30th, November 30th, whenever that was. And she didn't get a card from her daughter, who happened to come up here for Thanksgiving and brought my husband and I birthday gifts. And then I was telling her, because she was sad about it, that, I don't sometimes get Mother's Day cards or birthday cards from my kids. And I was like, what is it? I taught my kids to be so thankful and to write cards. So I think for one of the gratitude or the card writing people that, what happens once people get older? Is it something that's ingrained in you, or do you lose it because you've got parents that are overgiving? I'm not quite sure what it is. And my sons are thankful. I'm not saying they're brats, but I mean, still, they just don't think about it. So
do they know it's important to you?
No, probably not. I'm probably much more the giver. So I will hound them then about making sure I get a birthday card.
I did that
Tracy,
1 year.
My mom always pulls her hair out because I am very good at that, and my sister is not at all. And obviously we were raised in the same house. So
well, I told my kids 1 year, I don't remember what year it was, a couple of years ago, I said, all I want for my birthday is a birthday card from you. Yeah. And one of my sons still didn't give me a birthday card. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Marion to things. So we better get going because it's 12:59. But anyways, that was just my thought. I love my sons. They're wonderful. They're beautiful. But sometimes cards aren't really what's going to happen. So thank you all so much. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And we will see you in January. Let me know.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.